How to rebirth your soul. Not every invitation to fight is worth accepting. Some so-called conversations are nothing but emotional traps, voids masked as dialogue, designed to drain your energy, not deepen your growth. But here's the truth. Avoiding reaction doesn't mean suppressing your truth. It means refining your expression. It means learning to feel deeply, but respond intentionally. To honor your emotional world, without turning every moment into public currency. Because not every thought needs to be shared. Not every emotion requires an audience. Some feelings are sacred, meant to be held in stillness, witnessed by you, and only you. That is emotional sovereignty. To no longer seek external applause for what your inner world already knows. To stand strong in your truth without shouting it from the rooftops. But let's be honest. That's not how the world operates today. We live in an attention economy where your reactivity is monetized. The more you engage, the more your energy is harvested by algorithms, ideologies, and unresolved people looking for targets. So if you want to protect your peace, you must interrupt the cycle. Audit your triggers. Reclaim your focus. Withhold your fire from places that only want to burn it. Be selective with your energy because your evolution depends on it. And there are few moments more defining than the instant you feel triggered. It could be a sharp tone, a look, a silence, and suddenly your nervous system braces for war. Your jaw tightens. Your chest tightens. Your mind starts to spin. They don't respect me. They're trying to humiliate me. I need to defend myself now. But that rush, that fire rising through your body, it's not weakness, it's memory. It's history stored in the body. It's the younger version of you resurfacing, desperate to protect your dignity, your safety, your worth. So we react, loudly, quickly, emotionally, not because we're broken, but because we were taught that silence equals erasure. But what if you paused? What if, just for a breath, you didn't react? You'd see something much deeper. The trigger isn't the threat. The trigger is the teacher. It's not evidence of your instability. It's a flare, a signal, a reflection of what still holds power over you. Not the person in front of you, not the situation itself, but the unprocessed wound they just accidentally grazed. And that's where most people turn away. Because that kind of truth, that kind of clarity, it's uncomfortable, it's vulnerable, it's liberating. Have you ever noticed how your heart races, your breath shortens, and your chest tightens, even when nothing around you has changed? That's anxiety. That's the illusion of control at work. You're not reacting to the present. You're reacting to your thoughts about the future. Your identification with those thoughts is what creates your suffering. But here's the paradox. Most of the things you worry about never actually happen. Think back. How many sleepless nights did you spend worrying about that exam result, that job interview, that conversation, that diagnosis, only to find out later it was all okay? How often did your stress serve no purpose, just drain your energy? And yet, we keep falling into the same trap as if we've never learned from our own experience. Why? Because we're addicted to the illusion that if we think enough, prepare enough, stress enough, we can control what happens next. But the truth is, life never unfolds exactly as you imagine. You can predict, plan, prepare, and still, life takes its own path. Sometimes it surprises you with something better. Sometimes it brings challenges. But it's never exactly how you pictured it. So why waste your energy trying to control a future that doesn't exist yet? What is real is this moment, this breath, this heartbeat, the sound in the room, the feeling in your body, the past, a memory, the future, an imagination. The only thing that truly exists is now. But most people, they live everywhere except the present. They're trapped in memories or drowning in worries about what might come. They survive the moment, but never actually live it. Some argue that worrying is necessary to prepare, but there's a powerful difference between preparation and suffering. If you think it might rain tomorrow, you bring an umbrella. That's wise action. But if you sit in your room today, worrying endlessly about the clouds, that's pointless suffering. Action is useful. Worry is wasted energy. Nature shows us this every day. The bird doesn't sit on a branch worrying, "Will I find food tomorrow?" It simply wakes up and flies. The tree doesn't fear the next storm. It simply absorbs sunlight when it's there. Only humans suffer an imagined future. Only we turn our gift of thought into a weapon against ourselves. But here's the key. The future is not reality. It's only a possibility. And once you deeply understand that, once you see that uncertainty is not your enemy but your freedom, you are no longer a prisoner of fear. You begin to move with life, like a dancer flowing with the music, not trying to control every beat. Think about it. Your most joyful, awe-inspiring moments, were they meticulously planned, or did they arrive unexpectedly? Maybe it was uncontrollable laughter with a friend, a sudden moment of love, a breathtaking sunset that stopped you in your tracks. You didn't orchestrate those moments. You simply showed up, and life delivered. So why not live like that more often? Let go of the illusion that you must grip the steering wheel of every second. You are not here to control everything. You are here to feel, to trust, to breathe. And when you finally do, you will rebirth your soul. Some of the most magical moments in life, they don't arrive when you're stressed or striving. They happen when you're simply open. They come when you're present, when you're not burdened by fear, not haunted by the what-ifs of tomorrow. So if you truly want a beautiful future, stop worrying about it. Instead, focus all your energy on how you're living right now. Because here's the truth. If you take care of this moment, the next moment will take care of itself. And when the future finally arrives, you'll realize it was never something to fear. It's just another now, another breath, another chance to be alive. Look around you. You're here reading these words. The air is moving. Life is happening. Your heart is beating. But where is your mind? Is it here, fully immersed in the now? Or has it wandered off, spinning stories about a future that hasn't happened? This is the human struggle. We are physically present, but mentally absent. We are alive, but not truly living. We miss sunsets while staring at screens. We lose laughter in loops of anxiety. We skip the sweetness of small joys, because our minds are trapped in imagined tomorrows. Think about how many days you've lost to worry, how many nights you've surrendered to fear, only to discover that most of what you feared never even happened. You worried about problems that never came. You stressed over situations that never unfolded. You missed the moment, the joy, the connection, the peace, because your mind was busy somewhere else. This is the quiet tragedy of our time. Unnecessary worry is stealing our lives. If someone stole years off your life, you'd fight back. But when worry silently robs you of days and moments, you barely even notice. You call it normal. You accept it. But should you? Is that really living? Always waiting for something to go wrong. Always fearing what hasn't happened. That's not awareness. That's self-inflicted suffering. Picture this. You're traveling a beautiful road, lined with trees, birds singing, fresh air all around. But your eyes never leave the map. You're so worried about the destination, you miss the journey. And when you arrive, you're not even satisfied. Because you're already planning the next journey, already worrying about the next step. That's how most people live. They don't hear the music of life, because their minds are too loud with worry. But here's the truth. Worry doesn't prepare you for the future. It only destroys your present. Being responsible is wise. Taking action is smart. But worry? Worry is just mental static. It clouds your clarity, drains your energy, and makes your mind too tired to even think clearly. A person trapped in constant worry doesn't make bad decisions because they're unintelligent. They just can't see past the fog of fear. Now look at children. They don't know what tomorrow holds. And yet they jump, laugh, explore, fully alive in the now. They don't calculate all the things that could go wrong. They don't carry the weight of imagined futures. They just live. So ask yourself, what happened to you? When did you stop trusting life? When did you lose your openness? It's not that life became more difficult. It's that your mind became more entangled. Every moment spent in worry is a moment lost forever. And one day, when you look back, you might realize that most of your suffering was completely unnecessary. You'll see those sleepless nights, those anxious spirals, that constant stress were wasted energy. But why wait for hindsight to open your eyes? Why not wake up now? If you're constantly worrying about the future, you're assuming that life won't support you. But has life not supported you so far? The breath in your lungs, the food on your plate, the body that functions without your permission? Life has been carrying you every single day. The same wisdom that makes the sun rise, that makes rivers flow and seasons shift, is guiding your path too. If you learn to trust that intelligence, you'll see. There's no need for worry. Some people live as if the weight of the world is on their shoulders. They believe that if they stop worrying, everything will fall apart. But that's just an illusion. Life was happening before you were born, and it will continue after you're gone. You're not the force holding the universe together, so let go. Breathe. You are not here to control every detail of the future. You are here to experience this moment fully and freely. Drop the burden, reclaim your presence, and watch how life unfolds for you, not in fear, but in flow. Because the path to a peaceful life isn't paved with control, it's paved with trust. And when you live like that, you don't just survive, you rebirth your soul. Your mind is often filled with thoughts. Thoughts of what might happen, what could go wrong, what the future may or may not bring. But while your mind races ahead, life is happening right now. This moment, this breath, this heartbeat is real. And if you can learn to be fully present in it, your future will unfold more smoothly than you ever imagined. So the next time your mind begins to spiral with worry, pause and ask yourself, what is real right now? Is there actual danger in this moment? Or is it just your imagination running wild? Is the suffering happening? Or is it just a thought dressed up as truth? The moment you see the difference, you'll laugh at how much unnecessary pain you've been carrying. You were not born to live in fear. You weren't meant to walk through life burdened by invisible chains of anxiety. You were made to live, to feel, to grow, to experience this moment with wonder. So drop the worry, live this moment, and trust. The rest will take care of itself. Right now, take a deep breath. Feel the air entering your lungs. Feel the life moving inside you. In this very moment, you are alive. And that means you have a choice, a powerful one. What will you do with this moment? You see, most people sit and worry about the future as if it's some mysterious force beyond their control. But in truth, the future isn't decided by fate. It's shaped by the actions you take right now. Look at nature. Every mighty tree began as a small seed, buried in darkness, nurtured by light and time. The same law applies to your life. Whatever you want to grow, peace, success, strength, love, must be planted in the soil of today. Yet so many people sit in barren fields, hoping for a miracle harvest, but never planting a seed, never taking action. They imagine every way things could go wrong. They become paralyzed by fear, waiting for a perfect moment that never arrives. But life doesn't respond to hesitation. It responds to movement. Worrying about the future is like staring at the gym, hoping to get stronger, without ever lifting a weight. If you want growth, you must act. Here's where most people get it wrong. They overestimate what they can achieve quickly and underestimate what they can build slowly over time. They want instant results, and when they don't see them, they lose hope. They tell themselves, "It's pointless. My efforts don't matter." But that's not true. Every great success, every fulfilled dream was built through small, consistent steps. Think of a musician whose melodies touch the soul. That mastery didn't come overnight. It was born through early mornings, aching fingers, frustration, and persistence. Think of the athlete who moves like poetry in motion. That grace came from discipline, not from worrying about what might go wrong, but from showing up daily and giving it their all. Your future is not shaped by destiny, not by chance, not by luck. It is being written by the choices you make in this very moment. If you want a peaceful tomorrow, fill this moment with calm. If you want wisdom, seek understanding now. If you want strength, practice courage today. But most people live life in reverse. They say, "I'll be happy when I succeed," instead of realizing success is the result of choosing happiness along the way. They say, "I'll be confident when things are stable," not knowing that confidence is forged in the fire of uncertainty. They postpone living, waiting for a future that will never come, unless they begin creating it now. Imagine two people standing at the base of a mountain. One stares up, intimidated by the height. They worry about the path, the weather, the obstacles, and so they do nothing. The other one? They simply take a step, then another, and another. They don't waste energy predicting every turn. They just move forward. Days or weeks later, while the first person is still standing there, lost in worry, the second has reached the top. That's the difference. Not luck, not fate, just action. You can't control everything in life. You can't change the past, but you can choose what you do now. And that is where your true power lies. Think of the people who inspire you, the dreamers, the doers, the change makers. Do you think they had certainty? Do you think they knew how everything would unfold? Number. They simply moved forward. They acted despite doubt. They kept creating, believing that today's effort would shape tomorrow's reality. Life is not trying to trap you. The universe is not your enemy. It is simply responding to your vibration, to your clarity, your choices, your courage. When you walk with purpose, doors open in places you never imagined. But if you stay frozen in fear, you'll only ever see barriers. Right now, if you're filled with worry, pause and ask yourself, what can I do in this moment? It could be something small, a single step, a new habit, a brave decision. Take it, because one step leads to another, and before you know it, you'll look back and see that you've built something extraordinary. The greatest tragedy is not failure. The greatest tragedy is a life unlived, a life spent stuck in hesitation, while your potential waits to be awakened. Don't let that be your story. You already have everything you need. You just have to begin, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, because one step is all it takes to break the cycle. Calm, reflective tone. Sometimes all it takes is one small step, one single moment of courage to change the entire course of your life. The future you once feared, it could become the very path that carries you to places more beautiful than you ever imagined. But here's the truth, that transformation doesn't begin with worry. It begins with action, with trust, with the courage to be fully present, right now. The cost of fear. Pause for a second. Close your eyes. Think about all those nights you spent worrying. How many of those fears actually came true? How many sleepless hours were wasted over problems that never even arrived? Even the real challenges, when they came, weren't they more manageable than your mind led you to believe? This is the silent thief of life, fear of the future, and it steals from you one moment at a time, because while you're lost in anxious thoughts, life is passing by, unlived. The mind's trap. Your mind is powerful, but when left unchecked, it becomes a machine of suffering. It loops worst-case scenarios. It invents problems. It hijacks your peace. You could be surrounded by beauty and opportunity, yet your mind fixates on what might go wrong. But look around. You're still here. Despite every hardship, heartbreak, and setback, you've survived. Something inside you has always been stronger than the storm. That same force, it still lives in you now. The wisdom of life. There is a natural rhythm to life. The sun rises without your effort. Rivers flow without direction. Trees grow without guarantees. That same intelligence flows through you. But most people don't trust it. They want guarantees before taking the first step. But life isn't a rigid staircase. It's a flowing river. You can resist the current or learn to move with it. Think back to a setback in your life, a job you lost, a door that closed, a relationship that ended. Didn't many of those painful moments lead you to something better? A passion rediscovered, a new chapter opened, a path more aligned with who you truly are. It didn't feel like it at the time, but looking back, you can see it wasn't random. It was redirection. The future is a blank page. The reason we fear the future is simple. We don't trust ourselves. We ask, what if I fall? What if I fail? What if I lose? But what if you rise? What if you adapt? What if you grow in ways you've never imagined? The people who build meaningful lives aren't the ones with certainty. They're the ones who move forward without it. They don't wait for perfect plans. They take imperfect steps. They know that worry changes nothing, but action changes everything. Nature as a teacher. Want to know how to live? Look at nature. The bird doesn't panic about next week's food, it flies. The flower doesn't question if it will bloom, it just grows. Carrying worry every day is like walking with an umbrella under clear skies, just in case it might rain. It weighs you down, it drains your joy, and most of the time, the storm never even comes. But even if it does, you'll handle it, just like you always have. Living fully in the now. You don't need to have it all figured out. Let go of the illusion that control equals safety. Life was never meant to be fully predictable. It was meant to surprise you, to challenge you, to shape you. Ask yourself, is there really a problem in this moment? Or is it just my mind imagining one? Chances are you're safe, you're breathing, you're alive. This moment is enough. The weight of worry. Imagine holding a glass of water. At first, it feels light, but the longer you hold it, the heavier it gets. That's what worry does. It exhausts you, but the moment you put it down, you feel light. You feel free, and that's the freedom waiting for you. On the other side of fear, every moment you spend in fear is a moment stolen from real life. The truth is, tomorrow never comes as tomorrow. It only ever arrives as today. And if you don't learn to be present now, you'll never truly live. The power of trust. You've already made it through the unthinkable, so why not trust that you can handle what's next? Peace doesn't come from predicting every outcome. It comes from trusting that whatever happens, you'll rise to meet it. You don't need guarantees. You just need the courage to begin. Take that energy spent on worry and use it to create. If there's fear, acknowledge it, but don't bow to it. Act anyway, move forward, live boldly. Strong, empowering tone. The greatest tragedy isn't failure, it's hesitation, a life unlived, a story never written because fear held the pen. Don't let that be your story. You have what it takes, the strength, the vision, the fire. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have, because the future, it isn't something to fear, it's a blank page, and you are the author. You must understand something powerful. The future will not bring you happiness, unless you learn how to be happy now. If peace isn't present in this moment, it won't magically arrive with time. The way you live today is the way you will live tomorrow. So if your mind is constantly stuck in worry, no amount of success, money, or safety will change that. Fear will just find a new home. Look at children. Have you ever noticed how fully they live? They don't spend their days worrying about tomorrow. They laugh, play, explore, and when they fall, they get right back up. They don't overthink. They don't carry the burden of the future. But somewhere along the way, we lose this natural wisdom. We become consumed by fears, ambitions, and expectations. We forget how to simply be. But what if you could return to that place? What if instead of living in anticipation of some distant future, you could find peace in the moment you're already in? The mind will resist. It'll scream, "But I have to worry. I have to prepare." But ask yourself, has worry ever truly helped you? Has it prepared you, or just drained you? Worry doesn't create success. Clarity does. And clarity only arises when your mind is calm and still. Imagine standing at a river trying to see your reflection in the water. If the surface is disturbed, you see nothing. But when it's still, everything becomes clear. This is how your mind works. You don't need to control every detail of your future. Life is not a machine. It's a river, a journey, a rhythm. And the more you learn to trust that rhythm, the more effortlessly life begins to unfold. Think back. The best moments in your life often came unplanned. A chance encounter, a surprising opportunity, a failure that led to a deeper success. None of it was in your control. It just happened, and it changed everything. That's the magic of life. But if you're too busy worrying, you'll miss it. Instead of asking, "Where will I be 5 years from now?" ask yourself, "How can I make this moment meaningful?" Because this moment is all you truly have. Everything else, every plan, every fear, is just a thought. People spend years worrying about what might happen, only to look back and realize they missed what was happening. Don't let that be your story. Don't waste another year chasing a future that hasn't arrived, because when it does, it will only show up as the present. The truth is simple. The more present you are today, the better your future becomes. When you give your full energy to the now, you naturally shape a better tomorrow. The most successful people, they're not stuck in fear of what's next. They're fully engaged with what's here. So ask yourself, are you living fully or waiting for life to begin? Are you postponing happiness, thinking you'll feel fulfilled once things are perfect? Or are you realizing that life is already here, waiting for you to show up? Peace is not hidden in some distant tomorrow. It's here. Now, joy isn't something you stumble upon one day. It's something you create with every conscious breath, every present moment. So breathe. Let go of your need to control every outcome. Let go of the illusion that your future must follow your plan. Trust life. Trust that whatever comes, you will face it with the strength you've always had. When you stop obsessing over the future, you set yourself free. Nature doesn't live in fear. The sun doesn't second-guess rising. Rivers don't worry about where they'll flow next. Trees don't stress over how tall they'll grow. They just live. They just trust. You, too, are part of this natural rhythm. But unlike nature, the human mind fights against it, clinging to control, worrying about outcomes, fearing the unknown. And in that resistance, suffering is born. But what if you let go? What if you stopped reaching for a future that doesn't exist, and finally embraced the life that is? What if you trusted that you'll handle whatever comes, just as you've handled everything else so far? When you release your fear of the future, you discover a powerful truth. Freedom was always within your reach. You stop being a prisoner of what if and become a participant in what is. You stop waiting to live and start living. This is your life, not a dress rehearsal, not a trial run. It's the real thing, and it's happening right now. Take a deep breath, let go of tomorrow, let go of worry, let go of fear. Step fully into this moment, because this is where life is. And once you arrive here, you'll see clearly. There was never anything to fear. Life has always been unfolding perfectly, and it will continue to do so. Just trust it, live it, and be free.